Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Ryan Cruz, digital entrepreneur, growth specialist, and founder of Traffic Salad, where he helps founders and online businesses scale by building predictable traffic systems and automated funnels that generate consistent leads and clients. Ryan's work centers on turning traffic from a hope-based variable into a measurable, repeatable business driver. Ryan, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks so much, Olivia, and super excited to be on this podcast.
Yeah, as am I. I'm a pleasure to have you here, and I'm very much excited to dive in and learn a little bit more about your journey. So, Ryan, with all of my guests, I do like to start at the beginning. So if you don't mind briefly taking me back to what it was you were doing before you started up Traffic Salad, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, thank you so much. So I immigrated in Canada way back in 2010. And I was actually a nurse, so that was the reason we were able to migrate. But I had a nursing subject website, and it ranked on like Google. It was an SEO. It was ranking.
Sure.
So I didn't realize what I was doing. When we immigrated to Canada, I didn't want to go with nursing. Oh, sorry about that.
You were good.
So what I did was actually I tried to apply for an SEO job. I showed them the website, the SEO website. It's still up right now. It's made from like a free blogger website. And that was my entry point into the SEO world, into the digital marketing. But in 2011, 2012, there's the Panda and Penguin updates. And that actually decimated my website and also the client work that I was doing. And so I was thinking, is there a better way to actually like build a online business? And that's when I kind of went into the rabbit hole of paid ads, and from there I never looked back. So that's basically how I got started into pay-per-click journey. I got hired starting as a PPC coordinator, working my way up until now having my own PPC agency.
I love that. And I suppose, obviously, with nursing, you have that very like purpose-given background. You want to help people, and I think that serves so well when you do start up your own company. In digital space, it's all about that, like helping other people get to that growth level they're looking to achieve as well. So, do you always have a little bit of a burning ambition to be an entrepreneur, or is that just, as you say, naturally took place as you went through life?
Actually, no. So to be honest, I've never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've kind of become like an accidental entrepreneur. I'm always comfortable in like working for other people. And it could be because the way I grew up, like in the Philippines, you study, you find a good job. That has always been my mindset. What actually made me actually want to become a more entrepreneur was my son when he was 12 years old, and now everything's happening with YouTube, with AI. I told him you need to build a personal brand unless you're gonna be like in the healthcare field or like a nursing or something. The jobs that might be available today might not be available 5, 10 years in the future. So I told him build a personal brand. He said he didn't want to, but fortunately he persisted. In less than 2 years, we were able now to hit 100,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, get monetized, and now he has that confidence. And I realized I needed to actually put my knowledge out there, not just do it for other people, but also share it with others, which is why when you look into we're trying to build, we're trying to build like something wherein it's all about transparency, and it's
Yeah.
all about like how we can like have a win-win situation with our clients as well.
I love that. Awesome stuff. And as you say, just kind of taking those steps and moving on from there and then growing that personal brand alongside of it is a really great asset. So let's dive into Traffic Salad a little bit more, Ryan, just so the listener can have some more clarity moving forward. So I know we've had a few pivots we were chatting before we kind of recorded, but like at this point in, who would you say like is your ideal client? Like who do you very, very much love to work with the most? And then from there, how would you help them and how would you support them throughout their own journey?
Thanks for that. So because of my experience, I've been able to help almost all industries, from e-commerce to local businesses to B2B and to SaaS and even like online course creators. The ones that are kind of like my favorite right now, like where we're focusing on right now, are B2B SaaS companies. So these are people who are building software, building like platforms in with AI, Web3. We're in the reason like we kind of want to focus there is because there's no limit on how they could scale. Like a lot of problems with like for example scaling like a local business, like a local gym, there's only like a limited number of members, and we'd like to structure it in a way wherein we can just continue scaling it, continue driving more revenue. And with a SaaS, there is no limit. So as long as they can handle the server requirements, they can
Mm.
get as many customers, as many members for their SaaS.
Yeah, exactly that. That's such a great way to put it. Is there's no ceiling to SaaS. It just keeps
Correct.
going, and obviously they need so much help to get it off and running as well, because there's so much competition within that B2B space at the moment, especially when it comes to like digital marketing side of things. So, like, where do your specialities lie, and what is it like to work with you, Ryan, when you're helping these companies out?
Yeah, so a lot of the things when people think like, oh, you're just running ads, you're just clicking some buttons on like Google Ads or Meta Ads, but in reality, that's just one of the components. A lot of the components, especially, is you have to understand there's a pre and post click. So before someone clicks an ad, and after click someone clicks on an ad, how do you actually get those conversions in? Because you might be driving a lot of clicks, a lot of traffic, but no
Mm.
one's signing up. And I've seen SaaS where they even offer like 14-day trials, and they couldn't convert those because again, the strategy behind after someone clicks, there is like a structure there. There is an art there wherein you need to kind of know your numbers, and that is my specialty. That is our specialty, is what happens after those post clicks, because we can actually forecast everything. You can forecast how much you're gonna pay for your cost per clicks, how much conversion rate you want to expect, and then if you look into like, we're not only looking into that initial click, we're looking into the entire cycle. So if it's, let's say, a 14-day trial of your SaaS, we need to be able to find a way wherein the numbers make sense, meaning you're generating revenue within that 14-day, 30-day cycle. So you might be losing money on the front click or on the front end, but you are generating revenue because you have follow-up emails, you have follow-up notifications all throughout that cycle.
Yeah, that's like, as you say, that's so important, that back end of the marketing.
Correct.
Different on the front end when you got that branding that drives them to the click. But once they're in that funnel, a lot of people forget about that kind of middleman between before it gets to you or even the sales team, whatever that next step is within the business. So it's very much, as you say, like nurturing them, staying top of mind so that ad spend hasn't been wasted on the way through and really just keeping hold of that niche in between. So what is it like to work with you? I assume you're like very much in the trenches with the clients you work with.
That's correct. So I am not a salesperson. When you start working with us, I will be the one who's actually going to audit the account, because I'm also a developer. I understand tracking and stuff, which is the most important thing. Like I would say 90% of those that I onboarded, those that I audited with, it has mis configured tracking. What that means is they think they're tracking conversions, but they're actually just tracking clicks or maybe just
Yeah.
form submissions. And that breaks everything. Like if you're not tracking the actual goal, or which is usually like a sign up or a purchase, then all of your metrics are wrong. So that has to be fixed first. That's like a mandatory thing. And then the rest is kind of like, we work on like a forecasting funnel. Like we build that, and then once you approve that, we start building those for you. So we can work with like a complete done for you. We build everything for you guys until the launch of the ads, or we can work with you if you have an existing team, wherein we work with your managers, your GTM people, and then build the exact structure for you guys.
Yeah, so as you say, come in like a consultancy, so you can help them with that hands-on approach, or you can just very much teach a man to fish, get that set
Yes.
up for them, and then move on from there. Awesome stuff. And as you say, a lot of founders, especially like in those early stages going through, if they don't understand the nuances between like spend per click or conversion rate, that is
Yeah.
a big gap they're missing on, because naturally the whole aim from any click is to get that converted onto a sales call and obviously earn money from that on the way through. So 100%. And now, Ryan, with all your background and experience like in marketing and growth strategies, like what are you finding most successful for yourself at the moment in just finding those right people to work with? So, like, what channels or methods do you guys use at Traffic Salad to just really find that right kind of person?
So right now we are in what's called a trust recession. We're in the more that you are doing like a promotional or self promotion, or people think that's too salesy, the more that people would actually don't want that. So the building trust is actually important. So the two platforms that I've seen working really, really well right now, and it's a lot of opportunities as well, is LinkedIn. Combine it with YouTube. So
Yeah.
LinkedIn is where you can identify really well, like your target ICP. You can identify founders, decision makers. So that is the source of that initial click, that initial traffic, wherein now you funnel that into what's called like your acquisition funnel. And YouTube is actually good in amplifying trust really, really quickly, because when you look at it, if someone is watching like a 30-minute video about like a specific thing that your SaaS is doing, you've already like pre-qualified them. They know what you guys do, they know what the software do, there's a demo. And this is why I also love like SaaS on YouTube, is because you can show the actual like nuances on how to use your software, and that before they even book a call, or before they even sign up, they've already watched it. So a combination of those together with like a full backend is I really, really working right now.
Yeah, I think that's a really effective way to do it, especially YouTube is very much coming back into play with the
Right.
trust session. That longer form content is really building on people. And as you say, if they're paying attention, they can see a demo of your product. They can even, like a podcast is the same aspects on YouTube, just
Right.
listen to your voice and build that trust. It's such a beautiful way to do it. And then naturally you're pairing that with LinkedIn. So finding the people and shuffling to where you want to be. That is the beautiful, like nice way with a very nice way around to do the funnel. Do you run any
Yeah.
form of ads or like build any traffic in other sense just to get a wider ecosystem and really grow your follow base?
Yes. So there's two types of ads right now that B2B SaaS, and I would say even anyone who's using LinkedIn and YouTube ads should look into. The first one is what's called the thought leader ad on LinkedIn. So thought leader ads, you can run as low as $10 per day. But what's different with these types of ads, it's a founder-led content ad. So basically, let's say I have a post that's really doing well on my personal founder profile on LinkedIn. I boost that to the right ICP, and I can get started with just $10 a day. And you amplify that with like a video content. You even build like a remarketing list. Again, very, very cheaply, $10 per day, which is totally unheard of. And the psychology behind that one is you're showing your actual founder post on top of the right people. So you get engagement, you get likes, comments, and the way that you close them is via DM and via like your nurture email. And then the on YouTube ads, there is what's called a remarketing audience. So people who's watching your video on, let's say someone watched like two or three of your long form videos, build a remarketing audience of those. And now you can show up your ads wherever they are on the Google platform. So whether they're on Discover, they're on Gmail. Now you're
Yeah.
going after those people who watch those videos.
Yeah, that is a beautiful algorithm, as you say. It's just very much keeping you top of mind the whole way through. And again, YouTube is
Correct.
such a beautiful way to do that. We use YouTube as an ad funnel ourselves here, and it works incredibly well,
Amazing.
especially on that ROI you get. And then, do you have a team that are helping you out at all? Obviously, covering content, covering some of the hats you have to wear as a founder, or are you pretty much running everything yourself at the moment, Ryan?
So we have AI agents right now. So they're kind of like what we've built. So we're trying to use like Claw as kind of part of that AI employees agents. And then we do have some like partners. Like we don't have any junior in our team. Like I always have like a network of like senior buyers, senior experts like me. We're in. I need someone to tap into like copywriting or creative, because those are like different types of expertise. So we do have those networks if we need to.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. As you say, bringing in specialists when you can, but it's a great way to
Yeah.
keep the team lean and like using AI is a great tool and platform to do so. It's very much coming on the rise at the moment, which is really cool. But I take it, so you as the founder are taking like doing most of the heavy lifting yourself, so like running the fulfillment, taking the sales calls and moving everything smoothly through the process.
Yeah. Yeah. So sorry, I didn't get the last one at the
No,
end.
so basically you're the founder is pretty much running the whole show. So you're running not only the fulfillment side, but you have the sales calls to do and then obviously your
Um,
own marketing as well.
I think my audio cut out.
Oh,
Can you hear
okay.
me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I can hear you. Maybe you can just type in the text, Olivia. I'm not sure what happened.
Can you hear me? No. Um, it's not on my end.
Yeah, if you can hear me, I can continue. I continue talking. Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me or no?
but I could not hear.
You still can't hear me?
Yeah, I could not hear you.
But can you now hear me or no?
Um, yeah, that's weird. Still no. I
Still
think
no?
it might be on my end. I'm not sure, but I can see. I can see you here. Sorry about that.
You're all good. You're all good.
Eh, speakers. Mm. Do you want to give me? I'll grab another computer. Do you want to give me 2 minutes? That's
Sure,
okay.
if you can. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Let
mean,
me let me lag out of this one. Sorry about that.
you're good. You're good. I'll stay here. Better? I can't hear you.
Hear
I
me
can hear you now.
now? Wait,
Can
let
you hear
me see
me?
audio. Yeah, I can hear. I'm so sorry about that
You're
one.
all good. You're all good. Technology is not our friend all the time. It's not your fault at all. Do not worry. I don't know what happened. Maybe you're like sometimes
It,
Zoom gets confused with the outputs. Um, I don't know.
it's funny that always happens to me during some of these like client meetings and stuff. And
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's why I always have like two computers just
it's
in
good.
case. Yeah.
Handy to have. Funny enough, the camera on this one's actually better than your other computer. You're
Oh,
very clear on this camera. Yeah, yeah.
amazing. So sorry about that, but
You're good. I forgot what I was asking. Where would we get to? So you're using AI obviously throughout the business. So naturally, as a founder, you're filling the fulfillment, running the sales, and kind of doing that whole show yourself at the moment. Is there a particular role that you enjoy most?
to be honest, I enjoy building the relationships now.
Nice.
I thought it would be like something that I would be scared about. Initially, it was like I've never like outreach or been into podcast or been into like interviews like this. And then I kind of realized that I'm actually enjoying it because it's just like talking to a friend.
Right?
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. And then naturally, you're growing your own brand on YouTube as well. So that must all come into play when you're like doing your films and your reels for yourself, just kind of enabling you to really communicate yourself really well, which is a really cool aspect as well.
Yes. So that part is actually something that I really enjoy now. Like I used to like think that my accent or my diction would be like a huge bar, but I realized nobody really cares because I would watch a lot of like videos and they have all this accent, and as long as their content is good, I actually love watching their videos.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear. And obviously, Ryan, like we are at the start of 2026. We're now like we're 3 months in, we're in March at the time of recording. So like when you maybe think of the next 6 to 12 months, like what are your ambitions or your visions for the company moving forward? What are the goals or even the targets that you're working hard towards achieving at the moment?
Yeah, so we're going all in right now on YouTube. So the brand that I've helped my son build, we're actually trying to structure that in a totally separate brand just on YouTube, just to be
Okay.
able to kind of support those. Because what I've realized is YouTube is like not about like before it was about like the number of followers that you have, but YouTube is all about like really sharing a lot of value. And we've found out a system. So we would like to be able to kind of put that system as to as many people as possible. Like people who wants to build like a faceless brand, people who wants to build like a business like mine, and that will be one of the paths. So we're in the next 6 months, I'm helping my son to actually structure that. That would be his entire like thing that he would like to do. He loves YouTube. And then on the traffic solid side, we're going to be launching like a SaaS component soon. We're actually testing out like a beta portion right now. Like one of the problems that we had before was copywriting, getting those landing pages, getting those lead magnets. So we're building now like an entire platform wherein you put in like whatever it is that you're trying to sell. It creates the sales page for you. It creates the upsells, the downsells, and even
Nice.
the ads. So we're testing it out. We're now trying to put like case studies wherein everything has been built entirely using our platform, and we'd love to be able to show those results to other people and hopefully get our first 100 people to actually use it.
I love that a lot. So yeah, you have the really like two nice aspects coming up, obviously with the business yourself, but then even your son helping him grow his own brand, move along for there. And as we mentioned at the start, like YouTube is very on trend again at the moment. And I know I think I said this to you last time we was talking, but like I wish that when I was the same age as your son was, my dad was pushing me to get on YouTube, because I just feel like as a child and as a young experience to bring your own brand and have that experience in the real world is a really cool achievement and a really nice way to just set them up for some great stuff coming in the future. With regards to the platform and then obviously Traffic Salad, where are you probably finding the biggest challenge for yourself in getting that up and then obviously taking those next steps?
So I would say the biggest challenge is just getting started. Uh, but if you have accountability, so that was the one thing that I was teaching my son is we didn't care about like the likes, the videos, or we didn't even want it to be monetized. Like it was never our goal. I just want him to publish his first 100
Yeah.
videos. And that I realized that helped him like remove the pressure. He's not trying to be a YouTuber. He just wants to publish. And the other thing that we also made a decision was you don't need to show your face because he's like a teenager and such. So I think for me as well, because now I'm starting like a brand new thing where it's YouTube over 40. So I want to start something there wherein I'm starting from scratch. I now have like a couple of subscribers on that new channel. But basically how do we overcome this? So I realized is you need to remove like that anything that is complicating. So let's say editing and stuff like at the first, like when no one's watching, when there's no subscribers, you just need to publish more videos.
Yeah.
And the second one would be you need an accountability partner or like a group wherein they help you accountable. At least in things that I've learned is that makes me more like lean towards taking action rather than procrastinating. And then the third one is not just relying on one way to monetize it. So what I'm able to do on that new channel that I was trying to build is here's interesting. So I started like a new YouTube channel just on LinkedIn, and I only had like I think 21 subscribers, but I'm already able to monetize that with affiliate
Mm,
sale. So because I was trying to review like for example a couple of like the tools that I use, and
yeah.
because the review was very detailed, it was actually able to like people would be buying. Like I think I already had like 5 sales coming in just for
Nice.
that review video, and it only had like 200 views. So there are a lot of ways to monetize like a YouTube, but obviously it's different for each particular person. But I'm finding out that YouTube is really like a good way to actually build trust really, really quickly with your target audience.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think it's just a beautiful place to be. And there's one final question to ask you, Ryan, before we look out. So, if you could go back in time to a younger self and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward, something you know now, but that you didn't know back then, what would you say to yourself?
I would say just do it. Like whatever it is that you think you want to do, you just want to really just do it. I was glad that it took me it took me a while to actually just went into like what I love, which is computers, and not pursue the role of nursing, because a lot of my relatives would say, "Why are you throwing away your career? You've already been working for a couple of years," and I would say, but it took me a while. Like it took me like many years to go from. I even like finished my nursing stuff and
Yeah.
find job. But if I look back at my younger self, I would probably say, yeah, I'll go right away into like doing what I love, which would be computers and stuff.
Yeah, and I love that. And as you say, you should just follow what you love. At the end of the day, you should live in life. So if you can combine that with earning money,
Yes.
why would you not do exactly the same thing? And Ryan, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out best to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do so?
I would love to connect with you guys. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I would love to connect with you guys on LinkedIn. So that is my primary social network, linkedin.com/in/Ryan Jeffrey Cruz. And then obviously on our website, trafficsalad.com.
Beautiful stuff. And thank you again, Ryan. I really appreciate your time with me today. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to go and check out Ryan. As he just said, drop him a message on LinkedIn, Ryan Jeffrey Cruz. Check out the website, trafficsalad.com. And do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from zero to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing and we'll see you on the next one.